Well, I just spilled a full glass of water on the floor, so I think we are ready to film. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been longer than I anticipated since my last video. I had a series of issues with my laptop losing a bunch of footage and then my phone running out of storage, which is how I film my videos. But anyway, I'm back with another video finally at almost the very end of 2022. And this video is going to be a few like bookish goals for 2023. I've identified just a couple of things that I want to focus on with my reading, trying to be like a bit more intentional, I guess, with the books that I'm picking up. And yeah, I thought I'd share those with you today. I am currently in a different location than usual filming wise. I'm at my mom's house, so we still have the Christmas tree up, as you can see behind me. And there's a lot of junk in frame, but I'm not gonna worry about it for now because I'm just excited to be back filming something new and taking advantage of the sun, which is actually out for the first time in a while. So without further ado, let's get into the goals. If I look down during this video, I have them written out in my little journal. So that is out of frame, and if I'm glancing down, that's what I'm looking at. So the first reading goal I have for 2023 is to read longer books. So I put this one down because in 2022, I read a lot of graphic novels, I read a lot of fiction of various kinds, and I ended up reading quite a few like books of poetry and shorter books, and that's all fine. Like, no hate to short books. I love short books for some things, but I just realized that something that I'm really interested in right now is just like being in a story for a longer amount of time and kind of getting back into just longer works. So that's something that I'm going to prioritize. I think I have another video, or I do have another video coming that I'm going to film about a few particular long books that I want to get through in the year 2023, so look out for that. I also will be uploading a video hopefully about like kind of recapping my year of reading for 2022. I did meet and break my reading goal for the year, which was great, but there's still a couple days left and I want to like stop the clock when it actually gets to the end of the year as opposed to a couple days before. So that video will be coming out in a bit, but stay tuned. So yeah, read longer books. That's the first goal. My second goal is get back to the joy. And by that, I mean, I want to make sure that I'm not letting my desire to like read more and kind of like have a bigger number at the end of the year surpass my desire to like read things that I'm really interested in and that are kind of giving something back to me or helping me to grow in some way. I don't think I fully got into like an intense, like too intense mindset this year with my reading or anything. I don't think I let my desire to like meet a certain goal for a number of books that I read this year kind of like, I don't think that got in my way really, but I just kind of want to keep my eye on that and make sure that when I choose to read something, I'm not like rushing through it just so I can get to the next book, and I don't develop that kind of mentality because I think that can happen pretty easily, especially like being on BookTube, watching a lot of videos where people are like reading so many books in a year, like 100, 200, 300 books. And I do have to remind myself that like booktubers who this is their job, like of course they're going to read that number of books because that is literally what they're getting paid to do. And while I love being on BookTube and I love making these videos, it's not my job. I have plenty of other things that fill up my time. So just trying to like be realistic about what I can get through and really prioritizing the joy of reading. And it's just been such a gift to kind of get back to this place of really enjoying literature and really just like spending a lot of time with my nose in a book, which was something that I think I did so much more when I was younger, and getting back to that has just been wonderful. So I want to continue to prioritize that, and yeah, that's goal number 2. Goal number 3 is to prioritize queer writers, Indigenous authors, and classics. So these are these are 3 areas that I've kind of identified as things that I really want to focus on in the coming year. If I don't read a book by, actually, no, that's not true. I was going to say if I don't read a book by a cis straight white man all year, it'll be a win, but I already know that I have a couple Stephen Kings lined up, so unfortunately that's not going to happen. However, these are 3 areas that I really want to focus on in terms of like devoting my attention to these things. Classics are so rough because I never want to like, I don't know, the idea of the literary canon is super flawed and prejudiced and biased and messed up in all sorts of ways. But there are books that I feel like are kind of like foundational in some sense, or books that I really have this sense of having missed out on in my own education. And some of those are like pretty dense and difficult to get through when you're not looking at them in terms of an education and examining them alongside a class and kind of like having discussions and having a professor to like guide you through the text. But I just want to do my best to kind of like fill in some of those gaps. And they're all things that I'm like really interested in and on board with getting into. However, I know that that can really quickly kind of flip to like feeling overwhelmed and kind of getting bogged down. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but that's kind of what I'm focusing on for the year. And then just in terms of queer writers and Indigenous writers, I just feel like those are areas that I haven't gotten as much exposure to that I would like to get more exposure to, and I just happen to know that there are a lot of books on my TBR that fall into those categories that I would really like to get to in the coming year. And in terms of queer writers, I think reading queer fiction and just like graphic novels, anything genre-wise by queer authors this year has just been great in terms of like helping me feel really seen and like just responding to something. I think it's such a gift when you get to like read something and see something on the page and really feel like that's me, like that you're being represented and that you're identifying with someone or with something really deeply. And so I would like to continue to feel that way because I have enjoyed that. So yeah, that's goal number 3. So my final goal for reading in the coming year, 2023, is to read 5 works of nonfiction. So I'll talk about this a little bit more in my kind of like reading wrap up for the year. But this past year was terrible for me in terms of reading nonfiction. I think since I get nonfiction elsewhere, like in terms of magazine articles and reading the newspaper and things like that, and kind of just like absorbing news and like nonfiction related informational text, I guess, like through social media and things like that, I just don't end up reaching for them as much in my kind of like my reading time outside of those. I would like to prioritize that. If you're familiar with my like regular video setup, or I guess like some of my recent videos, there's like a small bookshelf behind me that's like checkerboard patterned on the top, and it has 2 shelves, and almost the entire bottom shelf is just nonfiction. And I think most, if not all of those books, it's like 10 plus books, are unread. Those are books I would really like to get to, and I think identifying this goal and working towards reading 5, which is not actually that many books if you think about it, like in the course of a year, I think that's totally doable for me. So yeah, I just want to prioritize that. I want to get into more nonfiction, and it's difficult because I find that I'm like such a mood reader. I know a lot of people say this, but like if I'm not feeling something in the moment and not really responding to it, I tend to put it down. And I have experienced so many times like feeling really interested in something that's being covered by nonfiction and just like feeling overwhelmed by the scope of it and by the length. But I think I have to kind of get past that and like push through feeling overwhelmed, because I think a lot of the nonfiction books on my shelf are things I'm really interested in and would really benefit from reading. So I'm hoping to like surmount that goal and kind of get back into reading nonfiction. So that's what I'm going to prioritize. Those are all the goals that I have. It's just 4. I wish it was 3 or 5 because I like those numbers better. But I have 4 goals, and I am hopefully going to keep you guys updated on how I'm getting along with those throughout the course of the year. I'm excited for the new year. If you have any particular reading goals for the coming year, please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, share it with a friend. Yeah. Subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to make any promises about content in the coming year and how often that's going to be coming to you, because I know that I've had a lot of issues in terms of tech and things like the world has not been on my side in terms of uploading regularly, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be uploading a little bit more regularly in 2023, and if not, I can only promise that I will be uploading at some point throughout the course of the year. I will be reading. If you want to see my reading progress, like outside of the videos that I upload, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm at Sonia Marks Reads, and I'm also on Storygraph with the same handle, I believe. Yeah, but all the links will be down below. So yeah, that's it for this video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are doing well, feeling safe and happy and cared for, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.